Good morning, children. Today I'm going to continue with the explanation of chapter 8, Those Three Bears, written by Ruskin Bond. Before I could continue with the chapter, I would like to give you a short briefing of what we did in the previous class. In the previous class, we have studied that the author had gone to visit his friend to the hill station. So one fine day, while he was sleeping in his friend's house, he was being disturbed by a loud rumbling and thumping sound on the roof. He woke up his friend and asked him what was going on. His friend said that it's only a bear and it's after a pumpkin. And it's after the pumpkin that are brightening on the rooftop. Now usually these bears, Himalayan bears, they come down to the valleys or village in search of food. As the higher range of the mountains are covered with snow and there is a scarcity of food during winter time, due to which these Himalayan bears they come down to the valley in search of food. Now the old folks or the wise men of the village advised the author that whenever you see an Himalayan bear, it is best to run down the hill rather than running up the hill. Now, these Himalayan bears also like to eat plums, corn, apricots, and pumpkins. These are some of the things which the Himalayan bears like to eat or consume. Now, please pay attention while I continue with the explanation of the remaining chapter. Once while I was sitting in an oak tree hoping to see a pair of pine martens that lived nearby, I heard the wailing grumble of a bear, and presently a small bear walked into the clearing beneath the tree. Now this is the second incident when the author spotted a Himalayan bear. Now this time when the author went on sightseeing or was trying to spot some pine martens. A pine marten is a small animal with fur on its body. So this author, what did he do was he climbed up on an oak tree and trying to spot some pine martens. Meanwhile, a small young bear cub came in front of the author near a tree which was came near the tree where the author was sitting on top of the tree trying to spot some pine martens. But this bear that the author saw was a young bear. It was a growing up bear. It was a young growing up bear. So when the author saw this bear, what did he do was he sat down quietly without making any noise and was trying to observe what this bear was up to or what tricks or antics is this bear trying to do. He put his nose to the ground and sniffed his way until he came to a large anthill. Now when the author was on the oak tree and trying to observe the young bear cub, now this bear cub was not a adult cub. For that reason, the author was also not afraid or scared. Now he was trying to observe. Now what did the author see was this bear was he put his nose to the ground and he was trying to sniff the ground until he reached an ant hill. Now when he reached the ant hill, what did the bear started doing was he started blowing air from his nose in and out as rapidly as possible. He was blowing the air in and out as rapidly as possible, and what happened in result, all the dust that was there near the ant hill started blowing in all directions, started flying at all directions. Now the bear was trying to clear that ant hill, was trying to clear that ant hill and trying to reach the ants that are inside the ant hill. But to his surprise, that ant hill was deserted. It was empty. There was no ants in that ant hill. And this bear, when he found that there is no ants in that ant hill, what did this bear do? He started making a grumbling sound it began to grumble and a grunting sound, that is a bear sound, and went close to a plum tree, and then he climbed up this plum tree and he sat on one of the branches of the plum tree. So while climbing up the plum tree, it was then the bear noticed the author. When did the bear notice the author? While it was climbing up the plum tree, it was then the bear saw the author. The bear at once scrambled several feet higher up the tree and lay flat on a branch. Now when the bear spotted or saw the author, now what did he do was, this bear quickly climbed several feet up of the plum tree and went and tried and sat on a branch where it could hide itself from the author. Since it wasn't a very big branch, there was a lot of bears showing on either side. Now since this plum tree was not a very big plum tree, it was not very bushy, it never had plenty of leaves in it. So this bear, the author could clearly see the bear from the oak tree. Still the bear was visible to the author from the oak tree. A lot of bear means different parts of the bear was showing. He could no longer see me. There was a lot of bears showing. He tucked his head behind another branch. He could no longer see me, so he was satisfied that he was hidden, although he could not help grumbling. But still, this bear was trying to hide itself completely from the author. It was trying to hide itself completely from the author. So what did this bear do? This bear was little cunning. It was trying to play tricks with the author. So what did this bear do was, it went more up. He went to the bushy where there were plenty of leaves in the plum tree over there. What did he do was, he went and just sat at a place where the author could not see him. But still, once the bear was satisfied that he is completely hidden, once the bear sensed that he is completely hidden and the author cannot see him anymore, so what did he do was, he started peeping from the place to see if the author is still observing him or watching him. Like all bears, this one was full of curiosity. Now like all bears, this bear was also full of curiosity. Now the reason for this bear to be full of curiosity was that it was a young bear. It was interested in knowing its surroundings. It wanted to know what are the things that are there around its surrounding. For that reason, this bear was quite curious about knowing who that person is who's trying to watch him. So slowly, inch by inch, the black snout appeared over the edge of the branches. As soon as he saw me, he drew his head back and his face and hid his face. Now this bear was now this bear started playing tricks with the author. Now what this bear was doing was, he was trying to play tricks with the author. Now when the bear was satisfied that he is completely hidden and the author cannot see him, so what did he do was, he started to peep and see if the author is still there, if the author is still observing him or seeing him. Now when he used to do this and when he used to see the author is still there, and when the author is also looking at him, now this bear used to turn back again, quickly go back to the same position or the same place and then hide its face. And what it used to do, it used to hide its face. He did this several times. I waited until he wasn't looking, then moved some way down my tree. Now this bear was doing this trick several times. It was trying to play hide and seek with the author, and this bear did this several times. But when the author observed that the bear was no longer looking or was interested towards the author, so what did the author do was, he just came down or slipped to another branch. The author slipped to another branch. He just changed his position. The author changed his position from the oak tree, and he just came down and slipped to another branch of the oak tree and was trying to observe and see the antics or the tricks that the bear was trying to do. When the bear looked over and saw that I was missing, I was so pleased he was so pleased that he stretched up right across to another branch and helped himself to a plum. Now, when the bear saw that the author was missing, he's not there anymore. Now, what did the bear become? He became very relaxed. He was very delighted. He was very happy. He thought that the author is no more over there, no more over there. And what did it do? What did the bear do at that time? He just stretched forth his hand to another branch and was trying to help himself. He broke a plum from the tree, and at that time he was about to eat that plum. He was about to eat that plum. Now, about to eat that plum, I couldn't help bursting into laughter. Now, who couldn't help bursting into laughter? It was the author who could not control his laughter. Now, why did the author could not control his laughter? Because after seeing the tricks that the antics that the bear was doing, the author bursted out laughing. He could not control himself laughing. The startled young bear tumbled out of the tree, dropped through the branches some 15 feet, and landed with a thump in a pile of dried leaves. Now, the startled young bear, the startled, frightened bear, or the scared bear, when he heard the laughter, loud laughter of the author, he got startled. He became afraid. He became afraid and he lost his balance on the branch and he fell several feet down. He fell several feet down of the tree on a pile of dry leaves. On a pile of dry leaves that was on the ground with a loud noise or with a loud sound, thump. Okay. He was unhurt but fled from the clearing, grunting and squealing all the way. Now, when this bear fell several feet to the dry leaf, the bear did not get hurt, but this bear was frightened. This bear was scared. So what happened in fright? He started making a screeching noise. He started grunting. Grunting means the bear noise, loud grunt, started grunting and a squealing noise and took off from that place and left that place completely. Took off from that place completely. He was so scared that after falling from that, he lost everything and then he just ran away to the deep into the forest or to deep into the mountains. So children, I'll explain the remaining chapter in the next class. Until then, thank you.